Are you wondering if Keller, Texas is a good place to live? In this video, I'm going to share what you need to know about living in Keller, Texas. I'm Keela McGraw, your favorite Fort Worth, Texas realtor, and if you are thinking about relocating to the Metroplex area, Keller, Texas is one of those cities that you may want to seriously consider. Keller's population is around 45,000 people, so it is considered a smaller city, and the McGraw Group has helped several of our clients relocate to the Keller, Texas area. Keller is consistently being recognized as one of the best cities to live in America, not just Texas, but America. In fact, Wallet Hub recently recognized Keller, Texas as one of the best small cities to live in America. So with that said, let's dive into what makes Keller such a great city to consider and to live in. So let's start with the location. Keller, Texas is located northeast of Fort Worth, Texas. So it is a suburb of Fort Worth. One of the cool things about Keller, Texas and its location is that it is surrounded by several highways and interstates. Some of those include Interstate 35W, Highway 114, Highway 121. So it's very easy to get to several places around the Metroplex if you do live in that Keller, Texas area. Keller, Texas is also adjacent to Southlake, Texas, which you've probably heard us talk about in a previous video. In fact, if you get on FM 1709, it travels east and west between Keller and Southlake. So it's considered Keller Parkway in Keller, but it's called Southlake Boulevard when it gets into Southlake, Texas city limits. It's also important to note that Highway 377 runs north and south, and it's considered the main street in Keller. Another great thing about Keller, Texas location is it's about 20 minutes to downtown Fort Worth and only about 20 minutes to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. So as you can see, lots of great things with the location. Let's talk about some of the things to do in Keller. So there is plenty to do in Keller, Texas, especially if you like to be outdoors and enjoy just a various amount of activities. I'd like to give a shout out to Keller Parks and Recs because they definitely kick it out of the ballpark when it comes to different events and just things to do with families or individuals in the Keller, Texas city. So speaking of parks, there are over 300 developed acres of parkland in Keller, Texas, with 11 specific park sites. Within those park sites, you have more than 26 miles of biking and hiking trails. So if you are all about being outdoors and getting that fresh air and exercise, Keller, Texas could definitely work for you as a city to live in. One cool popular facility in Keller, Texas is the Keller Point, which houses a plethora of different activities. They provide amazing activities for summer camps for kiddos. There's a great water park that you can visit there. They also have an indoor and outdoor pool. There's events for families. And of course, you have camps and classes there as well. So if you do live in the city of Keller, you would probably want to participate and be a member of the Keller Point because, I mean, why wouldn't you? There's plenty to do and it kind of covers all the bases. So if you need to be indoors to work out, or if you want to be outdoors, it kind of covers all of that. And so just having that option in your city, and with it being a smaller city, creates that strong community. You probably see your neighbors there. So you'll definitely want to be part of that community that takes advantage of that Keller Point facility. So there's also a number of activities and events that the Keller Parks and Recreation provides. So definitely check those out if you are exploring Keller as a potential city to live in. So if you're considering Keller as a city to live in, one thing that you do want to know is about the shopping options there. There aren't a ton of shopping options. There are strip malls. There are different things like that as far as grocery stores. There's not a Target. You'd have to go to some of your surrounding cities for some of your clothing shop options or things like that. Some surrounding cities include Southlake, which again, go right down to Southlake Boulevard and you have plenty of shopping options there. There's also Colleyville, but don't forget you're close to Fort Worth. So Keller is a suburb of Fort Worth, and Fort Worth definitely has plenty of shopping options, including an outlet mall that is just off of Interstate 35. And if you are looking for a variety of shopping options, there's always Tanger Outlet, which is just in Fort Worth, probably about 15 minutes away from Keller, so that is also an option. So if you're thinking about relocating to Keller, Texas, you probably need to know what the cost of living is like in Keller. So the cost of living is a little bit higher than the national average. It's about 12% higher, and housing is 67% higher than the national average. So yes, you are going to spend more on housing if you do live in Keller. The median price for a home in Keller, Texas in December 2022 was about $652,000. To put that into perspective, the median price of a home in Dallas-Fort Worth is about $352,000. So we're talking about over $300,000 more for a home in Keller, Texas. So keep that in mind as you consider Keller as a place to live. $652,000 will get you a 4 to 5 bedroom home with about 3 full bathrooms, and then the square footage is probably somewhere between 3,000 to 3,500 square feet. So these aren't small homes. You're going to pay a premium for living in Keller, Texas, but you're getting a nice home, nice size lot, so not a ton of new construction to where they're just cramming in a lot of homes, but there are still new construction options in Keller, Texas. In fact, according to niche.com, Keller, Texas is the 16th best suburb to purchase a house in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And if you're familiar with the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there are a ton of suburbs. So for Keller to be ranked number 16 amongst those is pretty high up and a good nod to Keller. So you can't explore a city without considering crime. According to crimegrade.org, Keller received an A- for safety. Not bad. So when clients are, thinking about a safe city to live in, Keller is definitely one of those that I kind of bring up simply because of that A- safety rating. That is pretty high considering all the different suburbs in the area. In fact, SafeWise rated Keller as the 22nd safest city in all of Texas. So that's good to know, especially if safety is at the forefront of any decision that you make when it comes to picking a city to live in. Keller is definitely one of those that is probably considered one of the safest cities in DFW, but also Texas. And of course, if you have children, you're probably wondering about the school district. And Keller Independent School District has about 34,000 students, and it's made up of 42 schools. According to the Texas Education Agency, Keller received an accountability rating of a B, which is not bad. It's 88 out of 100, which is not bad at all. Almost an A. But I know that schools are very important when you're considering a place to live. And I always tell folks, even if you don't have school-age kids, you still want to move to an area or purchase a house where the schools are high-performing and solid schools. Have any questions about Keller or moving to the area? Call, text, or email us, and we'll see you in the next video.